Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday, December the 19th, and 2020, yeah. And I know it's been over a week since I put a video out about my little Honda CT125, but there's some reasons for that. One, I ordered some rear shocks for it, and I wanted to be able to put those rear shocks on and do some riding with that. But let me just flip you over to the video I started a week ago that showed what happened. So this is what happened. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This is Saturday the 12th of December 2020. Yeah, I know, a good year. But anyhow, this is my Honda CT142, even though it says 125 on it. But gonna do something to it today. This package just arrived. Yeah, it just arrived earlier today. And you're going to want to see what's inside this package. Because we're going to... Let me get that. Here, we're going to unbox this. Oh, naturally, I got it upside down. But this is what's going to complete my CT142 El Diablo Special. And these are brand spanking new set of Diablo. God damn it, these are the wrong frickin' ones. This is a set of Diablo shocks, and I'm gonna have to send them back because they sent the wrong ones. They've got complete full adjustment with them. So, yeah, now I'm ticked. Okay, now that you've seen that, you understand. But this right here, folks, is my brand new set of shocks. Diablo rear shocks, and this is what they were supposed to look like right here. Gives me a full range of adjustments on it, which I can set my preload, spring preload, which is this adjustment right here. Then I can set my dampening, which is right here and right here. Now, another thing about these shocks is we have a left shock and a right shock, and they go on the bike exactly that way. This shock happens to be the right shock because the adjustment is out here towards the back where you can get to it. So if you look down here like that, it's going to be set back here to where you can actually grab a hold of it and make your adjustments from that side. Now, this is the left shock. And the reason you can tell which one's which is because it's got that nice little Diablo emblem on the outside of it, and then towards the back is adjustment screw. So it comes with some fantastic instructions. None, but it does come with some spacers in case you're going on with a different size spacers than what they ship them out to. Now granted, these are supposed to be for the Honda CT125, but we'll see what it does. What I'm going to do is I've laid out the 4 inches I'm going to need: 12, 14, 17, and 19 millimeter wrench. I will replace both of these shocks and show them a little bit of it on the video, and then we'll take it for a test ride and see how it goes. We're going to set the shock setups pretty neutral. What I may set right off the bat is the sag, and I do want to let you all know there is absolutely no adjustment whatsoever on the stock shocks. There's no sag adjustment with the spring. There's no rebound, no compression. There's nothing that you can set on these shocks. What you get is what you get. I'm gonna get things set up, and we're gonna replace these shocks, and I'll talk to y'all later. Alright, first thing you want to do is you want to put it up on your center stand. See, notice I took the center stand off because it hung down so low. I kept hanging up on rocks when I was on the trail. I took it off. So I got a stool here that I set it up on. So you take everything off the load on the back of the bike. Now on mine, I'm going to go ahead and do the right side of the bike first. Take that screw off, or that nut off of there, and then we've got the armpit cam, but I need to loosen up just so you know. If it appears that I have pre-loosened a couple of these, you're correct, I have. Now if you look at the into my head pipe, you can see the first spark arrestor. There's also one inside that rear cone on there. Now we want to loosen up these shocks, bolts. Pretty neat how those go on there. And I believe that's 14 down there, yeah. And I did what I didn't want to do, which was drop it. And guys, that should do it. The shock should slide off. Which it does. And if you look down here where you should have adjustment for your springs, you got 2 tabs on here, but there's no graduated collar right here on it. So you have absolutely no adjustments whatsoever on that spring. So why, I have no idea they did that. And if you notice, sunglasses are off because I had to put the glasses on so I could actually see what the hell I was doing. But anyhow, we're going to put the right side shock on. I'll button her back up. You don't need to see me do all that. And then we'll go over and take the one off the left. But you do it one at a time. You don't have to hold up the swing arm. So that's why I'm doing that. So talk to y'all later. Now folks, we're going to pull off the left side shock, which isn't going to be too tough to do. It's actually simpler because you don't have the exhaust to mess with to pull it off.
for any of you, god damn, that are interested in modifying your air intake and doing away with the bulky rear rack and getting a smaller rack. See, and I didn't want to drop that. That's twice I've done that. There's both times it was with the big nut. No, it was the bottom nut last time. So anyhow, let me show you this Diablo air cone that I got. It screws on in here, and it has a screen to keep big clods and materials from coming up. That's how much you lose on clearance, which isn't a lot, but I have no intentions of taking my bike swimming, and that's what it looked like some of the guys are trying to do to see just how well it does. I do not want to suck any water in this engine, so I will not be taking it in water that's very deep or anything like that. I have no plans of doing that. So that's why with the Diablo air cone, you see the little Diablo emblem on it, but it's made out of plastic. The original one that I saw was made out of carbon fiber. It looked really trick, but I wanted to cover this up. when they take off the rear rack and they put this smaller rack on, they would always take that hose and just hang it. Instead of having it come up, they would turn it down, which keeps it from getting any unwanted moisture dropping down or anything dropping down straight down onto it. So they turned it from up to down. I didn't like the looks of that, so when I saw this, I knew that I wanted to get that air cone to go in there. Plus I put it on at the same time that I put the new filter in there, and it did increase the amount of air that it's actually taking in. But anyhow, let me finish taking this shock off, and we'll go ahead and size up the other one, put it on there, take it down off of the stool, check the sag, and I'll show you how to check the sag. So talk to y'all later. Well folks, I put the shocks on, made some adjustments on it to get the sag set pretty good. It's too hard to be adjusting stuff and holding the GoPro at the same time. I need my chest suspender holder, but I didn't have it ready. So anyhow, I got the shocks on. They look pretty sharp on there. I don't have a reservoir hanging out, which is fine. I don't plan on being so fast that I need that extra oil in there, but I got the sag set pretty good on it. Put the rebound, there's 24 clicks on it. I put the rebound 6 clicks off of full fast. Now I may end up probably going more towards the slow, so probably another 3-4 clicks off of fast from that. But I took it for a little short ride, and I hit every chuck hole and every crack in the road and every bump and everything. I hit all of that stuff in it, and it was pretty smooth. But it wasn't bad to begin with the stock stuff on it. But off in the trails where it needed better suspension, you had no adjustments to be able to make it a good suspension on it. And so I like the Diablo shocks. They look good with the rest of Diablo stuff. And the next step is we're going to get the YSS Black Series front fork kit, and I will have I think I'll have the Cub House go ahead and install those. I don't mess with the internals on suspension, never have messed with the internals on it, but I can adjust to get a smooth ride. So that's the next step, but that's next month. And then after that, we may throw some different tires on here. But I don't ride very much off-road stuff, so actually these tires have done pretty good for what I've been riding in. The only complaint I have on them is when I was out in the dirt and I was riding soft sand, soft dirt, and mud and wet rocks and stuff like that. It just had no traction in the back. So the front's always been good. I can't complain on that. But I think I'm going to end up with some Shinko 244s front and rear. Go with the 275 17 on the front and a 300 on the back. And the reason I'm doing that is basically the size of these tires are 275s front and rear. And I just don't see any reason to try and go bigger with the front, because I'm not going to mess with that front fender. I like it hanging where it's hanging, and it fits really nice. But there's plenty of room for a little bit bigger rear tire. And I'm thinking with the added power that I've got with it, it should hook up pretty good in the dirt. So anyhow, folks, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and talk to y'all later.